Hi, it's Lats out with Becky Forums. Where am I? Here we go. It's not the best of weather, but I got the droid in, and I'm gonna give it a quick test run. Try it with a couple of the other barrels that I have, since it has a matchstick on it, and do a quick side by side with my Cyborg, since people were wondering, you know, if it's a quiet poppet, what does it stand up to a spoolie? So I haven't really messed with it too much. I don't know that much about the droid. I think I mentioned that a bunch of times before. So far, I'm actually decently happy with it. I've got a couple of complaints, which I'll probably bring in the review that I do in probably next month. But just going to do a quick shooting video and discuss it a little bit. I'm using the same paint that I got for free months ago, so it's really dimpled, it's really messed up. I might end up with some problems or some barrel breaks, especially when I switch down to the disruptive. But wait to see what happens. Turn it on. Yep. Turn on the air. Hang on one sec. And of course now it's going to stick on me. There we go. So as you can see, pretty quiet marker. I have it on uncapped full auto. I got a low battery on the hopper. It still shoots pretty quiet and pretty smooth. I have a little bit of a problem with the ASA because it engages way before the tank should actually be going. So I got a little bit of problems there, a little bit of bolt stick. It is 0 degrees out, so it is ass cold. I still haven't re-lubed it from when Hibiki sent it to me. So either way, it still shot pretty good. Yeah, I'll put it up against the other gun once I get some more paint in here. But like I said, it's crappy paint. I don't know what to expect out of it as far as barrel breaks and stuff like that. I have low batteries in the Pinocchio, which will hopefully not cause too much problems here. So let's quickly set that down and grab the Cyborg. This is PSP 10.5. Come on. Let me shit rotor. There we go. So as you can see, well here, right off the bat, it is obviously louder. Side by side here. So here's the Cyborg. And then the Droid. Cyborg. Droid. This rotor's gonna piss me off. Fucking rotors. Anyway, if my rotor stopped jamming in the crappy paint, as you can hear, there's obviously a big difference in the sound. I mean, the Droid barely puffs, whereas the Cyborg makes a good amount of, you know, it's a good amount louder, but I mean, it's a poppet, so what do you want? On top of that, it's a stack tube, so I've never claimed that it's better than a spoolie, but it's definitely still quiet for a poppet. I'm going to grab a different barrel here. I'm going to start out with the Deadly Winds. That's the Deadly Wind on the Cyborg first. And everything's freezing up. Yep. So I'll see what the deadly wind on the Cyborg does, you know, when put up against the Droid, and see if that makes any real difference in how close they are. I don't think it's going to make a major difference, but I think it's going to be a fairly noticeable difference. So as I'm sure, you know, I might do a side-by-side video directly afterwards, kind of like a cut and paste of the two shootings. But putting the deadly wind on it really changes the sound signature from that matchstick. But it's still, you know, still no match for the Droid, even with the stock barrel on the Droid. The Droid still just outclasses it being a spoolie, and actually quite quiet and smooth spoolie, as many people already know. Got a cat that's interested out here. Let's switch this out, put a deadly wind on the Droid. Obviously using the same bore, just like I did when I was doing comparison tests before. Get it turned back on. So here's the Droid now. Funny thing is, I think that maybe, I'm actually quite sure that the Droid was quieter. I think it might have actually hurt the Droid. Which is kind of strange because, like I said, they're both using matchstick. For some reason, switching out the matchstick on the Cyborg seems to be helping out the Cyborg. Doesn't really seem to be doing too much for the Droid. So I'll switch out the Cyborg's barrel here. This is where it's going to get dicey. Like I said, this is old paint. It's swollen, it's dimpled, it's misshapen. And I'm going to be putting on a, let's see if we can get that in here. I'm not sure if you can read it. It's a 678 disruptive. So it's a small bore on, you know, in the cold with screwed up paint. So we have to see how that goes. Not a very nice fit. The rotor, as always, is always empty. So hang on 1 second. Alright, let's get that going. Alright. So as you can hear, it's starting to even up a bit. But, like I said, I think that the deadly wind actually did this a disservice for the Droid. So I will try to flip that back out to its original match sit and see if that's actually going to help it out any. But as you can hear, the Cyborg still got a little bit of a click on it, as you would expect from a SAC-2 poppet. But I think that, you know, a lot of the guns could actually be performing a lot closer to a spoolie if people actually use the right barrel. I know it's just a tube, expensive tube at that, but they can make a huge difference in what your gun actually sounds like. And I've had to debate a lot of people on sound signature versus actual decibel levels, because even if your gun doesn't get any quieter by decibel, if it doesn't have a crack, it has more of a thud, you don't hear it as far. It's not as noticeable when you're shooting. So, like I said, this is the disruptive on the Cyborg, and then the stock matchstick on the Droid. Fucking rotors, I'm telling you, man. I realize it's crappy paint, but come on. So I'm getting some breaks with the disruptive. I'm not obviously surprised about that. due to the smaller bore versus the shitty paint. But I think the Disruptive, you know, I've always known Disruptive is a really quiet barrel. And like I've said before, the Cyborg's a really quiet gun. But it definitely helps close the gap between a spoolie and a stack tube poppet. I don't know, you know, I don't have any other stack tube poppets on hand, unfortunately, to see how it helps out them. But Deadly Wind doesn't seem to be really helping out the Droid. For some reason, seems to be helping out the Cyborg. But you know, when you throw the Disruptive with that awesome port, I mean, I'm not sure how many people have a Disruptive barrel, but the porting on is really, really nice, and they have it stepped up. There's a little bit of a sharp barrel on the porting close to the back, but they're actually really quiet barrels. I've been always really happy with that. It's a small bore, which kind of hurts it for a lot of people, but I play a lot of reball. Reballs are small, so I'm able to use that basically every time I play. And so yeah, that's my Droid, and then the Droid versus the Cyborg. The Droid's obviously significantly smoother. I mean, it's not even a competition on smoothness. But as far as sound, if you're running a stock barrel on the Droid, and then you have something like a Cyborg or a Creed, I mean, the Creed's even quieter. So I mean, if you threw a Creed up against it, you might actually get them in the same neighborhood of sound as a Droid. So yeah, pretty happy. I'll be doing a Super Gun show on the Droid probably next month. It really depends on when I get out to play, because obviously I don't want to do a video on it without having used it a decent amount of times. I need to break out the bolt engine as well. A lot of people on the forums will know that I'm not a huge fan of the clone due to its bolt engine. I'm pretty lazy as far as things go, so I like my guns as simple as possible. And I've already broken open the Droid, and it's the opposite of simple. So that's that. That's a Droid.